Welcome, listeners. Today, Begum, Amira, and I have prepared a fictional case for you, which will hopefully showcase the criminal law differences when it comes to esports in the three countries Turkey, Hungary, and Germany. Please mind that while the case itself is fictional, the actors, the esports players that we have chosen are real, but there is no correspondence between what they are doing in the case and what they are doing in real life. On one team, we have Hungarian esports player Vizicaci and his team, Unicorns of Love. On the other team, we have Schalke 4 with two of its players, one of them German, Broken Blade, and one of them Turkish, Absolute.
Vizicaci, Broken Blade, and Absolute have all taken drugs before. This is not the first time they took amphetamine to enhance their performance and concentration, and this will not be the last if they aren't get caught. However, the consequences will look very different for them. In Hungary, doping for classical sport has been criminalized. This regulation can also be applied to esports if the drug is on the list in International Convention Against Doping. However, there is a situation that the drugs used in esports are generally in the amphetamine group. And amphetamine is not in this international list. Therefore, although there is no esports specific regulation on doping yet, in our case, Vizicaci will be criminalized for the crime drug possession and consumption too.
There is no specific anti-doping law in Turkey in esports and also sports that would result in criminal liability. In the case of doping in classical sports games, the special regulation only creates consequences such as disqualification from the game. Criminal law liability is also considered within the scope of possession and consumption of drugs if the drugs taken are considered as a narcotic. In Germany, doping substances are agents that increase performance. It should also be noted that since 2015, the legislature has made self-doping a criminal offense in order to maintain fairness and equal opportunities in competitions and to ensure the health of athletes. It has not yet been clarified whether the anti-doping law applies to esports players. So in order to ensure that the competitions are fair despite the unclear legal situation, the Electronic Sports League is trying to take action against doping with the World Anti-Doping Agency. So our German player Broken Blade will probably not face criminal charges, but rather maybe disqualification or fines.
Out there in the stands and in their homes, the brother of Vizicaci, the mother of Broken Blade, and the girlfriend of Absolute are all hunching over their phones to check their bets on the upcoming League of Legends match. Interestingly enough, neither of them bets with money, but rather with loot boxes. In Hungary, it's illegal to organize gambling events without state permission, so that could be applied for esports as well. But since our bettors don't do it with money or rights that could be equated to money, but rather loot boxes, it cannot be considered gambling at all. According to the legislator that the Hungarian Criminal Code relies on, so our bettor will not be considered a gambler at all.
While there is no specific esports regulation in Turkey regarding gambling, it should be noted that in regular sports, both partaking and organizing illegal gambling events is criminalized. Unfortunately, in Turkey, due to the strict definition of what a sport is, betting on esport events cannot be considered betting on sport events. Therefore, the crimes of illegal gambling cannot be realized.
In Germany, a law has adopted in 2021. Until this law, there was no special betting regulation based on esports. For this reason, if betting based on esports was made, the general regulation on classical sports was applied. But now it's not clear whether this law will be applied to esports as well. So, there is a loophole in Germany too. For betting based on esports, it's necessary to get permission, and the currently applied if permission is not obtained is the regulation of illegal betting in the penal code. Therefore, in our case, Broken Blade could be found guilty of illegal betting according to the German penal code. It is nice in the Hungarian system that it does not criminalize those who take part in illegal gambling, but only the organizers. It would not make sense to punish the users. However, it may need to expand the list of drugs which it considers as doping.
I actually really like that they respect the ultima ratio enough not to criminalize doping itself, but only the drug possession, and they leave the rest for the sport associations to handle. However, the definition of sport is too strict in my opinion.
Now at the end of our presentation, when I evaluate the regulations in Germany, I can easily say that the negative part is they have a loophole and they don't have a specific regulation both of gambling and doping on esports, just like Turkey and Hungary. The good news is Germany just started to regulate this area. But we shouldn't forget it's really important to consider the ultima ratio principle. Thank you for your attention. Vielen Dank für Ihre Aufmerksamkeit. İlginiz için teşekkür ederiz. Köszönjük a figyelmet.